Doing great. Excited about this week and the opportunity, obviously, to get on the field again, play again. Really excited about our team and what we can do and how we've been preparing. It's been great so far, and so I'm looking forward to practice today.
How's this training camp been, just with a new offensive coordinator, new position coach, and things like that for you?
It's been great. I think, first of all, my first 6 years have been pretty exciting, and a lot of great things have happened, and a lot of great ball and stuff. And like I said, I always attribute that to Coach Bevel did a tremendous job with me as well, and obviously Coach Carl Smith too. This year, it's football. And you enjoy football when you love the game. You're passionate about all the hard work that you put into it. I think Coach Brian Schottenheimer's done a tremendous job with our whole entire offense and how we're preparing and how we're playing and practice and all the work that we're doing in the meetings. I think he's done an excellent job, as good as it can get. So we're excited about that opportunity to go out in the field and show what we've been working on and how we've been preparing and everything else. I think Coach Dave Canals has done a tremendous job too as well. And so I love coming to work, and it's just the best thing. You don't really call it work when you love it. So I'm grateful for that. And year number 7, excited about that going underway.
When you're about to get the snap on Sunday, how much are you trying to find where Von Miller is?
Well, you always try to know, where Von Miller is. When you got a guy like that, he's pretty special. Obviously, he's going to be a Hall of Fame guy. He's a guy that can make every play, can do everything. It's a tough matchup. But, you look forward to those moments where you get to play some of the best players in the game. That's what you put the uniform on, and you get excited about those times. I was telling somebody the other day, I think it was actually their media. It's like having LeBron James or Steph Curry, on the court. You got to know where he is. So, but he's a great player for sure.
We saw your chemistry develop with Brandon Marshall throughout training camp. I'm wondering just how did you see that kind of progress, and how seamless was that?
Well, I think it was actually really smooth. Actually, I think his understanding of the game. I think he's caught over 950 footballs before, in the National Football League. There's guys who've never played 950 plays. Think about how many catches he's had. He's a true superstar. He can make all the plays. I think he loves the game too as well. We've been friends before too, so we've known each other, through PAO, just knowing each other around the league and stuff. So, been fond of his work for years. So it's been great. I think it's always going to be a relentless effort to just try to stay on top of the details and try to continue to get that extra work as much as we can. That's what makes the quarterback and the receiver chemistry always great. Guys like Doug and Tyler have done a tremendous job over the years, and I'm excited about doing that with Brandon.
Schottenheimer was saying after he got hired, you were at the Pro Bowl with Drew Brees, and you talked to Drew about him. Just what kind of feedback did Drew give you on Schottenheimer?
Yeah, I forget. I was actually riding on the bus. It was I think our first or second practice, and I think we were. I think we either just hired him or were about to hire. I don't know exactly, but I remember sitting on the bus with Drew. We were sitting together, and I asked him, Schotty pretty well, right? Schottenheimer, and he said, yeah, man, he's like one of his best friends. They're super close. But I think that what Drew really loved about him was the details of all the work, and he really helped progress his career even at a young age, and obviously San Diego, and they've been close ever since. And so and that's not normal, for the most part. I mean, but I think that, and then when I say that, I mean, I don't know what that is, but just dropped something. At least it was today, not to Sunday. But anyways, so I think with Schottenheimer and Drew, they've had a tremendous relationship because of Coach Marty Schottenheimer, and then also just because they love ball. They're both very similar personalities, but both very detail oriented, and that's why I think I get along with those guys as well. So it's been great so far.
The wide receivers, David Moore is a guy who had a really big training camp in preseason. What are you expecting to see from him? Just that progression, and what are you kind of expecting from him? Starting week 1 and.
Well, I think with David, just continue to do what he's been doing. I think he's been great all year. He's been exceptional. He's worked really hard. We had a bunch of time together in the offseason too as well. Down in LA, we worked together and stuff like that, and just got a bunch of extra reps and everything else. And just got to have some quality time just talking about football and about life. And so I think David has done a tremendous job of stepping in. From year 1 to year 2, he's just grown tremendously. He's a strong, athletic, a smart, tough kid, and he really makes a lot of plays. And so when you think about playing with David Moore, he can make all the plays, and I think he's got a chance to be a star in this league, and he's just got to stay the course. Keep learning from guys like Doug, keep learning from guys like Tyler and Brandon, obviously, and just continue to do what he does best.
Is the new slide rule for quarterbacks when they run anything you've thought about or had to think about when you're running it all this year? Or?
No, I haven't really thought about it. I think more than anything else, you just get down, and no rule will stop somebody from necessarily hitting you. So I think that you just got to be smart and you get down early. That's always the case.
What was the scene like when you saw Earl yesterday for the first time?
Guys were really excited. Obviously, I think just to have our brother back, all the hard work he's done, and everything. I think that we all love Earl. And the way that he prepares. Just him coming out for the first walkthrough yesterday. Just how zoned in he is and how locked in his eyes are, and just he loves the game. He wants to be the best to ever do it, and he arguably is. So I think that as a friend, Earl and I've been close for quite a bit now, and I think that just to see him back and seeing what he loves to do, he loves his family, and he loves playing football, and so I think that he's in a good place to be ready to play and play well.
After practicing against the Seahawks defense all camp, how different does it seem to you with all the big names that have left and the changes that have been made?
I think there's different names and everything, but the energy and the enthusiasm and the speed of practice has been the same, and I think it's been great. I think the way we've been practicing has been at a championship caliber level. We're excited about going up against a really good team, and so we're preparing at the highest level, and it's been a lot of fun. We're excited about this year.
Somebody calculated that you, over the last 5 years, have led the NFL in scrambles. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? And is that something that you and Schottenheimer are planning to change?
I think scrambles are good things for the most part. I think that you think about just the plays that we've capitalized on, and I think the reality is most defenses get a little bit nervous when that happens. And when I'm out down the pocket or outside the pocket and moving and everything else, and the play breaks down, there's always a second play. And so for me, I'm always looking for something positive, in that, and then just being smart with the football, trying to throw it away if it's not there, So I think scramble things are good. Scramble plays, most of the time is actually a good thing.
And the second part was about whether you guys want to change that a little bit in terms of you staying in the pocket and.
I don't think we overthink it. I think it just naturally happens. I'm never really just trying to get outside the pocket. Unless it's like a design call. But sometimes something may not be there, and then we extend the play. The great things happen. A lot of first down runs, a lot of big plays down the field. A lot of dinks and dunks that get big plays. You think about the Eagles game last year, for example. And just different plays. That have come up in the past. Great things have happened. So we don't want to take that part of it. I think. Magic happens with our offense when we do that sometimes. So I don't think you want to take that part away.
Your tight ends, how much better equipped might you guys be in pass protection just because of those guys this year?
Well, I think first of all, Disley and Nick Vanette and those two guys have really stepped up to the plate, and they're tough as nails. They're excited about getting in there and playing a lot. Obviously, Disley's being a rookie has stepped into our offense in a big way. He's done a tremendous job of knowing. He's extremely knowledgeable. He's one of the most athletic guys we actually have on our team, and so in terms of all the things that he can do, and we saw that in the home run derby, but just watching him, how he's relaxed and how he's poised just to be great. I think he's going to be a really good tight end for us. I think Nick Vanette has some of the best hands in the National Football League across any position, and I think that he can make a lot of plays. So we're excited about what those guys can do, and I think the toughness that they bring allows us to run the football really effectively, allows us to be really sharp in the passing game and also the play action game and everything else.
Tell us about the home run derby since you mentioned it.
Well, Disley, man, he played some baseball back in the day. He was hitting the ball pretty far. He's from Montana, I think, right? Yeah, he's from. He's got that country strength and the mountain strength. He's swinging away, hitting the ball pretty far. And then Austin Davis was swinging away too. And then, so then I hopped in there and finished it off for him. But it was a good time. And then the O lineman got the free dinner. So it was fun. It was a good time, and it got some competitive guys, that's for sure. We had Rod tossing, I believe, that day. Yeah, I think Rod was tossing, so that was a good time.
You spoke of Von Miller earlier, but what kind of pressure does Bradley Chubb, pretty talented rookie out there, what kind of pressure does he put on you guys to keep that offense going?
Well, I've been watching Chubb for years. He's, guy from NC State, so watching the Wolfpack and watching him play, make plays, and causing havoc. He's been doing that for years, and so that's why he was such a high draft pick and such a talented player. I've heard nothing but great things about him and who he is as a person too, as well, and everything else. So I think that he definitely can make a lot of plays, and so age can't be a factor. That's not a factor for him. And when you turn on the film, he's playing a new position than he played in college. Really, he's playing the Sam more so. And playing, really that outside linebacker position. You really play defensive end mostly in college, but at the end of the day, it's football. They're trying to tackle the guy with the ball, so he can do that. So he's going to be a great player for years to come.
You talked a little bit about the new faces that are on the team this year. Has it been invigorating at all to have those fresh, new, young faces around you guys?
Well, I think it's been exciting in the sense that, they're really, they love the work and they love the, just being out here. I reflect back to my first opportunity of playing, and just having the opportunity, and sometimes I wouldn't say you take it for granted, but sometimes you forget how good these days are when you're young, and just like you forget because you go to practice and everything else. You've played for years and years, and you want to have a young heart, you want to have a young spirit, and I think that. A lot of these guys definitely have that, and even our vets, we all have that. And guys like Bobby Wagner with such a young spirit and so much great football ahead of them for years to come. You think about Doug Baldwin, you think about even Brandon Marshall. Like I said, the guy's 30 plus, and I think he's 34. I think 33 years old, something like that. But he's a guy that you wouldn't be able to tell. He looks so athletic out there. Just has such a young spirit, and I think that we want to just continue that, and we want to continue to elevate, how we practice and be relentless in growing our culture and be relentless in how we play. And I think that's really crucial.
Have you noticed a difference at all in playing in altitude?
I remember playing in, I've been in Denver a few times, obviously for baseball, and then also, when we played there, my preseason rookie game, I think it's my second game, and there is a little bit of difference, in terms of the altitude. You don't, when you're throwing the ball carries a little bit more, so you don't have to rip it as much. But other than that, I think that if you're running around, you got to be. You just got to get your oxygen. Make sure you take your breaks. Because it does make a difference. But at the same time, there's still white lines. It's still 100 yards, and you just want to play football. And so I think that's you can't overthink it. And I think that's the thing. We're ready and we're conditioned and we're ready to play some ball.
Have you seen the Nike commercial featuring Kaepernick, and if so, what did you think?
I haven't seen the Nike commercial. I've seen the ad thing. I think that ultimately, us as a country right now, we get distracted about so many different things, and we're fighting over all the wrong things. I think, like I've always said, it's really about love and grace and how can we make this world a better place. And I think that's the intention, more than anything else. And so, I think that as long as it surrounds love and grace and making this world a better place, that's what I believe in.
Anything else?
Thank you guys. Go Hawks.